Well, I want to address something. Actually, I put out a video not too long ago about women carrying the DNA of casual sex partners with they had unprotected sex with for life. They carried their DNA. I think it's actually scientifically feasible. It's probably true, but it's like I look at it this way. There's a lot of different things that actually can happen to a person's body in a lot of different ways, and the important thing is to keep it in mind what is possible and take measures against that. But one thing I was being accused of is slut shaming, and I was like, you got to be kidding me! No way in hell. I can't say I'm anti-religious, and actually I believe in the Bible in a lot of ways, but I'm not one of these people definitely that pick out the Bible and say you got to be this and that way. I think it's historically accurate. Like, in other words, I think the flood is historically accurate. The story of Noah is probably historically accurate. There's a lot of other cultures that say there's a flood and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it may not be exactly the way it was in the Bible, but yeah, it could be, but I don't actually take the Bible verbatim for every damn thing there is. Now, as far as slut shaming goes, but I want to tell you one thing. There's a lot more slut shaming going on, even between women all the time. And, you'll see this all the time where there's always putting down each other. Yeah, you're this, you're that, or talking behind each other's back. I know that. It goes on all the freaking time, man. And actually, where the problem is, where people actually feel really bad is when you're putting people down, humiliating them, demeaning them. And it's not always coming from a male. It's coming from women, other women doing it to other women all the time. That's a fact. It's a fact. And you know what? It's true. It means just mean people. There's mean bitches out there doing other women, right? They do this to everybody. And that's my point about the DNA, because casual sex partners, if you're carrying that DNA forever, and that was just a mean, rotten person, you don't want that type of bad vibes in you. But you know what? If that happened, well, guess what? There's probably stuff you can do against it, to actually counteract it. Maybe essential oils, or organic foods, maybe frequencies, maybe quantum entanglement, maybe frequency is applied with positive offset can counteract those bad vibes from other bad DNA you're carrying. I don't know. I mean, I would think so. I mean, it would be a better bet. But if you take the bad vibes from all the bad DNA from bad sexual partners and you add in other bad things that are actually causing damage to your DNA and slowing down your frequency vibration of your body, and you add that all together, hey man, that's a recipe for freaking being miserable, right? You want to be happy. You want to be happy, and not all the time is partnerships that are hetero happy. Sometimes they're same sex that are happy, but then again, you always got the dominant partner, even the same sex relationships. There's like. You say there's no domestic violence with the male and all this. It could be domestic violence from the female with with a hetero partnership. It could be female domestic violence. It could be male domestic violence. There's all kinds of stuff. It's not like the problem's solved where you say do whatever you want. But actually, I look at it like this: it's all individual rights. That's the way I look at it. I don't think the religion ought to stick their freaking nose in any damn thing in the United States. It's all about the only thing the government needs to do is protect the freedom of religion and protect people from religion too. In other words, if you don't want to be involved in religion, you don't want to be involved in religion. If you want to practice religion, you can practice religion. That's the way it is. Protecting individual rights, that's the freaking job of the government. And that's why actually as far as slut shaming, no way in hell, man. No way in hell. Now, I don't like people that are promiscuous and also unhealthy at the same time. That, I think, is pretty bad, because at the same time, they could be, what the hell they could be spreading, you don't know that, though. But, the other thing is, or it's promiscuous and irresponsible, you never know that. But the thing is, everybody back, even in the 50s, supposedly, Ozzie Harriet and Day, in the 50s, everything looked all hunky-dory on the outside. All kinds of stuff was going on, you know what I mean? It's like, becomes now where it's almost like a countercultural revolution where you have, everybody's got to get in and protest, women power, rape, anybody being called a slut. Now, whatever, man, come on. First off, if you're looking to the government to freaking solve your problems, you got a problem right there. It's you, yourself, you got to stand on your own 2 feet, and when you look you give up your power to go to the government to freaking say, oh, I want you to fix this. You just freaking gave up your individual rights, man. That's what happens. And everybody's doing this. Stupid. Come on. Don't do this. Actually, I look at that as a bad thing. So there's no, I don't look at it as individual power and male power hetero power, homosexual power, lesbian power, or religious power, anti-religious power, atheist power, whatever the hell it is, 1% power, power to the people. I look at it as individual power. Everybody's an individual. But, mixing your DNA with other people, that might be a problem. You never know. You never know. Now, actually, here, there's a guy, he's a black fellow here. He's holding up a sign, fight homophobia and fight AIDS. As another example of being hoodwinked. Because, I can tell you right now, I think it's pretty damn solid evidence. I'm not going to go into all the freaking details on this video, and I'm not going to comment all the way on it either. But it's pretty damn solid evidence that the government or some government or global government introduced the HIV/AIDS virus into Africa on purpose as a depopulation tool. I don't think it came from the green monkey. It has nothing in common with the green monkey. There was actually, hunters were in South Africa were eating green monkey meat for centuries and centuries and centuries, and all of a sudden it comes upon the scene when they're giving out vaccinations. And you know where actually most of the AIDS came from in the first place in Africa? In the cities, not in the countryside. It actually came from the cities where the vaccinations were given out. Yeah. So it's almost like I'm protesting the government that gave out the freaking AIDS in the first place, right? And, it's like the other thing is they gave it to the, besides the blacks, they also gave it to the the homosexuals in New York when they gave it to the Hep C, experimental hepatitis B vaccination in New York. That's when they had another major outbreak in New York City. They're giving it deliberately. By policy, they're giving it to the gays. So when these gays or anybody that is protesting the government for a solution, they're looking up the wrong freaking place. You know what I mean? Government ain't going to do that. No way, no. The other thing is here, end violence, slut war. Yeah, but problem is there's a lot of violence between women. There's the butch sometimes gets violent with the femme. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. It actually all comes from within the person. It's almost like it's an anti-male thing, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize this, and it's like, we're being hoodwinked by the powers that be when they're freaking dividing people up like this, because it's divide and conquer. Actually, the only divisions between people should be on an individual basis. And everybody's an individual. Nobody's going to be exactly like another person and share all their freaking opinions. No way in hell. I might share somebody's opinions on, finance or something like that. Maybe you don't share my opinions on religion. Maybe you share my opinions on health or something like that. Maybe you don't share my opinions on, mowing the lawn. I don't know, how on lawn care or something, right? So, everybody's got different freaking opinions. And actually, every part of the country has different cultures and different norms. And, the United States is a mixture of all these whole cultures and norms. Actually, when you go into other countries, you're pretty much forced to be whatever the hell it is in that country, maybe except for maybe some of the European countries. But actually, like most other countries, even the Asian countries, you're pretty much regimented to, comply with whatever the norms are over there. Actually, the United States is one of the most free and liberal countries going. Liberal in a good sense. I don't like liberal when it's a socialistic type of sense where they're grouping people against each other. I'm talking about liberal when you got individual rights. That's the ultimate liberal, and that's the way liberal should be. I don't know, they call that libertarian. There's a bunch of stupid labels for shit. But, it's a matter of, we got different cultures in the world, different norms, different opinions. What's normal and freaking moral or something maybe in China may not be over here. Maybe, massage with a woman's breast showing is immoral over here, but over there, maybe that's normal in some certain settings. And, over here, there's like, people walking around in short skirts and bikinis and more often, and maybe that's, I don't know, I'm trying to give maybe that's a bad example, but there's different things that are different cultures that are normal and moral. And in other cultures, they aren't. And, I've put some of the most extreme examples is Islam. Now, in other ones, is like in religion, they say homosexuality is immoral. Yeah, that may be true, maybe not be true. But you know what? If that's your opinion, fine. That's your opinion. Fine. Your opinion should not be forced upon other people's. That's the way it is. There's the freedom of religion, then there's the freedom of individual choice. And as long as you're not violating somebody else's rights. Now, if the homosexual tells somebody that's a heterosexual that they have to be homosexual, that's violating the heterosexual's rights. Fine. You're not supposed to be doing that. That's wrong. It's what our government's about is freaking protecting other people's rights. As an individual, not grouping people together and setting them on each other. But what kind of burned me up was that, like me being accused of slut shaming by some pinhead with a psychiatry or psychology degree, lady, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. No way in hell, because I got far more respect for sex workers, and I think they're honestly freaking way more, true human beings than a lot of these freaking yo-yos that are found in the professional world. Like look at what goes on at J.P. Morgan with Blythe. Remember? Ha ha ha. The one that developed the derivatives. So she's a wonder. Yeah. Tell you what, I think any sex worker's got more morals than that one did. But anyway, the thing is, there's always these groupings, and there's always these ones where they pick upon somebody who has a different belief than other people. One of the biggest examples is Jews. If I was a Jew and they told me to wear the yellow star, I'd be like, good, I'll wear it. I'll wear it. Hey, you want me to wear it? No problem. Hey, man, it's cool. It's like being called a one percenter, right? If you're a biker and somebody, those are the one percenters. Maybe that's not a good example. But when they said they were the one percenters, like, good, I'm a one percenter. I don't give a damn. You call me a jarhead or something, a Marine. Hey, I'm a jarhead. Well, fine, I'm a jarhead. Okay, good. You tell me, actually, I wear a star, David, because I have a tendency to stick up for the underdog. I don't wear it outside all the time. Yeah, Star David. But, I do. And a lot of people now are going to gig me on this and say, hey, yeah. I heard all the freaking theories, man. I don't buy it, Actually, I think Jews are the ones that are freaking get screwed over. But anyway, I love sluts. I'm going to tell you this right now. I think they're a minority. They ought to be protected. And, there should be, if anything in the government, there should be I Love Sluts program to protect the minority of sluts out there. That's one thing I think. Actually, I put this video out about, women carry DNA of casual sex partners for life. To watch out when you go to the babyface nightclub. Sometimes maybe there's some, bad vibes out there. And, you might be thinking, I want to hook up this person, that person's cool. But maybe they're kind of evil on the inside. And maybe you'll be carrying that evil DNA forever. I don't know. I mean, that's a precaution. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I mean, it's not like freaking guaranteed proven scientifically, but I suspect the things they, delved into and they found out about, that it's probably true. It's probably true. They probably, women, if they have casual sex and it's unprotected, they probably will carry the DNA of the partners for life. But, you can probably counteract a lot of that. I mean, some of the, you can raise your frequencies even with organic food. You can raise your frequencies with quality essential oils. You can raise your frequencies with something that probably people never heard of. I put some of it out before on my channel. The George's Lakowski multi-wave oscillator, which was developed in the 1930s. That thing is cool. That thing is cool, man. Or maybe even the spooky quantum entanglement device using a Rife machine, or the positive offset parazapper will, repair your DNA possibly by working as an electron donor. I think it does work like that. Also, a lot of good nutrition and stuff like that. But, people that are into, a lot of hookups and stuff, a lot of times they don't do a lot of these things. It's like they're not doing anything to counteract the problem. Now, actually, I kind of like Femin. I used to not like them, and I used to wonder, what the hell's paying these girls all this money? But then I realized I agree with Femin almost all the way, and all their philosophies and all the things they're fighting against. Like Vlad Putin and his, freaking destruction of Ukraine, and, the Islamic yo-yos, and, the multi-trillion-dollar Catholic Church that tells you to give to the poor, all this other kind of stuff. And yeah, they're probably backed by some Jewish guy, but to tell you the truth, I think he's doing the right thing, So, I got to edit out all this stuff with Femin, because every freaking picture of Femin out there, even if it's like, it's got boobs in it, you got to freaking get out the crayons and erase the nipples. But anyway, the thing is, I don't know, maybe they wouldn't care on YouTube, but I don't know, I just figured I'd erase them. But, the thing is, it guess depends on what you're talking about. But, the thing is, actually, I love sluts. I think sluts are great, But the thing is, I think the problem with sluts, though, is this. The one thing is, it's usually people that are, like, into just pleasure, having fun. They are not disciplined enough to take care of themselves. They're not disciplined enough to take care of themselves. And that can have major repercussions for a lot of different things. Because the healthier you are, the less chance you can actually spread STDs. Now, there's people that hook up a lot and they do a lot of different things, but not only is there HIV and AIDS, there's Hep C, there's herpes, there's actually Lyme disease is now an STD. A lot of people are worried about carrying the DNA. Did you know Lyme disease is now an STD? Probably. Not guaranteed, but there's more people coming up with Lyme now that, a lot of people are saying is, how could this possibly be? They're not living in areas where there's mosquitoes or deer ticks or anything like that. How can they be coming up with Lyme? They're getting it from their partner. And it does make perfect sense. Do you know even now, Ebola, after it's cured, they used to say it used to take maybe 30 days, maybe 6 months or 3 months before, the semen is free of the Ebola. Now they're finding out that people that have been cured of Ebola, 6 months later, the semen of the male could be containing Ebola and infect the female. So really, there you go. I mean, even cancer could be a disease, an STD. You know why? Because cancers are usually inside parasites. If you transfer a parasite to another person, guess what? You can be transmitting the cancer virus. But the thing is, we actually have all these parasites in our bodies all the time. Everybody has cancers and stuff in their body all the time. The thing is that our bodies are strong enough, and have a good enough immune system and a good enough nutrition to fight these things in a natural way. Like our immunity, we actually fight these things. But if you add more partners to the mix, there's always more that can happen to you. And, I'm not one to put down women that hook up a lot. No way in hell. No way in hell. No way in hell. They can do what the hell they want. If they say they don't like me, fine. They don't like me, and it's like, I'm going to put them down if they say they don't like me, fine. I don't care. It's like individual basis. It's not saying I like women that hook up a lot because I figured I'm going to screw them, that person. No, I just think that person, it's individual choice. They can hook up with other women. Males can hook up with other males. They can hook up with, I don't know, do whatever the hell they want, man. I don't give a shit. As long as you're not violating the rights of other people. Now, I would draw the line on, old and young. Like, in other words, if the person's a child, the person's a child, the person is a child, the person does not have, enough background to understand to make the choice, and they can be influenced by an adult. I would draw the line on that big time, because in that case, that's almost like forcing it on the person. I mean, I guess there could be, there's always like different things between, there's different laws in different states on that, I mean, I guess it could be, the woman's 17 and a half and the guy's 18. That could be illegal there technically, but, I don't think they don't necessarily go after that kind of stuff like that. Usually it's like 45 and 17 or something like that. But, in that kind of case, yeah, I would draw the line on that because, and, also, where people can be taken advantage of is also financial situations. A lot of times a woman is like doesn't have the money, she's broke, she's like needs a place to stay, she needs this, she needs that, she could be taken advantage of. And well, you don't want to know because sometimes that happens and then it turns the cards the other way around. You never know. But actually, I'm not one to actually be into slut shaming at all. That's ridiculous. I think people should be allowed to do what the hell they want. At the same time, the religious ought to be allowed to say what they want. If it's their opinion that these people are leading a life of sin and it's going to lead them to hell, they should inform those people of that. But after they inform them of that, they shouldn't be, you tell them once or twice, and that's it. You know what I mean? You're not going to freaking be there like every day telling them like, homosexuality is immoral, multiple partners is immoral, lesbian is immoral, or whatever, sex before marriage is immoral, whatever. They're going to constantly be telling you all those different things. Now, I mean, it's like they're taking a group of people and they're constantly just digging them and bringing them down, and it doesn't help it. It doesn't help matters. You don't want to put people down. You want to just tell them what you think the facts are, and if they try to put you down, you can put them down. Whatever. If they're being mean to you, you can hey man, whatever you want to do. I don't like taking shit from people either. But I don't tell people what to do. I personally, I love sluts. And as far as me being a slut shamer, no way in hell. No way in hell. No way in hell. Actually, the only thing is, I would caution anybody that was into free and open sex, though, is to be very, very careful with their health, because there's a lot of things out there that are not labeled STDs, which could be STDs. I mean Epstein-Barr virus, for crying out loud. Anything that, if you're having sex with that person, it could be almost anything that they're afflicted with could happen to you. And if you're hooking up with a lot of different people, that's actually more chance that you're going to be having a lot more problems. Not even just from the DNA being in your body. Now, I also want to talk about something else. Like, if you talk about the DNA with the quantum entanglement device, the Spooky 2, and you probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I put a lot of videos about that. You actually have, like, say, I don't know, a kidney transplant or something like that, and you use your DNA in that quantum entanglement the Mobius coil that sends the frequency via quantum entanglement to your body. It will not go to the transplanted kidney. It only goes to your DNA. Now, I got a lot of theories on it, like we could probably eliminate every freaking STD and microbe that's bad and harmful to us with some of these devices, with either the contact method, with Parazappers positive offset, or possibly even the Spooky 2, or possibly through healing herbs, essential oils, and things like that. We could probably eliminate every STD out there. Now, say we did. Well, where would the religious then be? Where would the religious be then? They'd be saying, this is immoral because there's going to be a plague on you. Well, maybe there's not going to be any plague. Maybe there's not going to be a plague. Actually, I can tell you most of the freaking stuff that came about, like Ebola and HIV and maybe even Lyme disease, and I think Legionnaire's disease, was planted by the government. Yeah. So, not all the government now. Not all the government, just like some elements of the government. Because I've got to freaking emphasize something, because, a lot of times when I present something that's a little bit on the fringe alternative side, a lot of times people will be, I gravitate, and, they think I'm thinking it's a blatant broad brush against the government. Now, we could also say there's rogue elements in the CIA that do certain things, but that's not the CIA by and large. There's always, it's a mixed bag with every damn thing. And it's a mixed bag with sluts, too, so you never know. There's good ones and bad ones. So anyway, drama queens and, people scream in your ear, and people want to cause trouble. And then there's cool ones that are just, want to have fun. So anyway, but as far as, being anti-slut or slut-shaming, no way in hell. No way in hell. No way in hell.